It's Wednesday. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. It's your AEW Dynamite, 2nd April 2025. It may as well be on the 1st because you have to be a fool to enjoy this. If you want the Death Riders repeating the same stuff that they've done for about what feels like at this point 9 years, then this might be the show for you. But honestly, man, see this modern wrestling stuff, I can't do it. I can't do it, man. It's like a form of mental torture. This show was absolutely awful. And there was a scene with security guards that was particularly awful. We'll get to it later on. But I honestly think there should I actually think there should there should be no security guards anymore in wrestling because it's overdone and it's also cringe. The amount of security guards are just getting tossed around by midget men or midget women is insane. And then, honestly, man, I think there could be a whole rant in security guards in professional wrestling because see back in the day, they just used like referees and it worked. Now you've got these guys coming out in all black and it's some of the cringiest stuff I've ever seen, man. And that's across both companies. You know what I mean? WWE do it where like Gunther kills what Jimmy Uso on Raw, and no one bothers their arse. But then you look at NXT, and there's just I mean it's a 50-50 scrap, and they send out like 20 guys, and the guys are like jumping 20 feet in the ring to try and sell Jordana Grace. It's absolute crap. But we're in Illinois, and Peru, whatever the fuck that is in Illinois. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz. They're your commentators. Can't wait for that. We kick off with the match that, I mean, I guess everyone was expecting to main event tonight. But I've noticed recently on Dynamite that they've done this where the biggest match of the night might be at the halfway point, or in this case, it's bang right at the start of the show. So we've got Moxley and Sharina Fair taking on Strickland and Willow Nightingale. Right. Then, I mean, I'm just sick of this. Willow Nightingale pushes Moxley off the apron through a table and then hits the powerbomb to Shafir 1, 2, 3. And it's like, why is Willow Nightingale getting absolutely pushed to the moon, forced to tag with the male opponent for the AEW Championship, all because of Marina Shafir? Oh my god, man. Absolute cringe. This match was just brutal. Awkward spots. Marina Shafir can't work and neither can Willow Nightingale. Absolutely crap, man. I'm sick of it. It's shite. Now, what you could say is, at least after the match, John Moxley rolled in and hits Willow Nightingale with a paradigm shift, however it's called. Here, men on women violence. We don't get it all that often in wrestling. Fuck, WWE. Triple H would rather cut his nose off than produce anything like this. So I'll say fair play to AEW in this sense. Now it was revealed that Dax Harwood had been fined $10,000 and he would have to apologise to Paul Turner himself. $10,000? $10,000 is such a diddy amount. Why not just pretend it's like 100 or something? You know what I mean? We all know Tony Khan's paying them fucking millions anyway. Ridiculous. And these two looks like could Dax and Cash be in a match? We don't know. We then got the brackets for the Owen Hart tournament revealed. So let's actually talk about the brackets. Left side for the men, Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. Guy kick. I wonder who's winning that one. Is Will Ospreay going to lose to Kevin Knight? You tell me. Brody King against Takeshita. Right side's Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. And then Hangman Adam Page, baby. I know that's cool, but who cares? And there's a wild card he's taking on. Jay White's injured. He had to drop out due to a legitimate injury, apparently, according to Fightful.com. Women's side, Hater against Billy Starks. Thunder Rosa against Chris Statlander. And then the right side, Julia Hart versus Mercedes Moné. Harley Cameron versus Athena. So, what we're probably going to get in this tournament is Mercedes Moné getting to the final and then finally losing to someone. But she doesn't lose any belts. The belt collector. It's fucking tragic. Like that, it feels like Tony Khan's backed himself into that much of a corner that he can't have someone lose the fucking belt. Mental. Right. Tony Storm defeats Penelope Ford. You know, Tony Storm's strong. I mean, she's all right in the ring, but she's so much better at promos. Why couldn't we have got a promo here with a match? We didn't. We just got a match at this point. So, yeah, it was what it was. Right, then, up next, we had Swerve Strickland backstage walking and Hangman Adam Page. They face off against each other, and then these security guards come in, folks. Whole reason for the rant at the beginning. They come in and they just start holding their stomachs and their abs while like crouched down at like half their height, trying to hold them back, and they're not holding them back. And we're not talking about one or two guys here. We're talking about like 5 guys on each guy, and they can't even prevent them. They can't even hold them back, and they're just like crouched down, hugging them. Some of the fucking cringiest stuff I've ever seen. It's somewhere on Twitter. It might be on the YouTube channel for AEW, but if they had any sense, this stuff would never see the light of fucking day. I mean, honestly, whoever writ off on this segment, worse than Benoit, man. This was some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my puff. Right, what happened up next? The Hurt Syndicate hit the ring. Out comes MJF. Lashley says, I'm not going to leave you lying, MJF, out of respect for MVP. Lashley says, we don't need you. I don't like you. I don't need you. I don't trust you. But unless you can prove otherwise, then we're done here. And then he walks to the back. So it looks like the group with the big black men don't want the wee Jewish boy. So yeah, we move on. Then the Learning Tree walk past Lashley. They offer him a seat. What? The Learning Tree defeat a bunch of jobbers. I've never met this fucking group in my puff. And then MVP and Lashley walk to the back after, you know, Big Bill and the Apple, or whatever the fuck he's called, the Ocho, win the match. Mercedes Moné cuts a promo. Awful promo for Mercedes Moné. Ollie Cameron did improve it, but yeah, there's only so much you can do when you're partnered with Mercedes Moné on the mic. It's crap. Match 4. Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Right, let's just put in the perspective here. AEW, the ratings are shite. You know, 600,000, 507, whatever. Kevin Knight, Blake Johnson. No, hold on. Kevin Knight, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson. Kevin Knight, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson. Kevin Knight, Blake Johnson, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson. Kevin Knight, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson. 3 guys, right, that would work in your local supermarket. Now, for the Yanks watching this, 7-Eleven, Walmart. For the Brits watching this has got fucking Tesco written all over it. Alright? These 3 guys are bums. They're never ever going to make it. You know what I mean? Name me somebody in the 80s and the 90s, right? Called, like, Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson. You know what I mean? It might work if you're watching a fucking TV program. Oh, Lee Johnson, he runs the Aryan Brotherhood, but his nickname's Spikes. You know what I mean? So something like that. But in the wrestling business, man, fuck me. What is that about? Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight win an absolute shite match. Brutal. No good. Lance Archer gets defeated by Brody King. Wrestle headlines put in the rating for this match. 2 big old sacks of meat throwing bombs on each other. Wrestle headlines wants their sacks of meat to throw a bomb on his ass. And then it's main event time. Adam Copeland versus Claudio Castagnoli. I mean, it's a decent match, but Edge wins 1, 2, 3, and it's like, is that it? And then the match, I mean, it's an alright match. Edge wins, but then after the match, the Death Riders beat up Swerve Strickland. There's glass. And it's just like, how many times do these shows end with the Death Riders beating someone up? I'm sick of it. The only positive I can take from the Death Riders, Swerve and Edge is, this is like the main event stuff on Dynamite, and you are getting a lot of it throughout the night, but no one really wants it. And that's the main problem. It's fucking dragged on too long. You know what I mean? We live in an era where Triple H cares too much about what the fans think, and part of me honestly thinks Tony Khan doesn't give 2 shits, because, I mean, even the people that like AEW want Moxley to lose the belt. This Death Rider stuff should have been nipped in the bud months ago, but it hasn't been for whatever reason. So I'll give this show a 1 out of 10. Very rinse and repeat. Can't accuse Raw of doing it a couple of weeks ago and not say AEW hasn't been doing it for months. So, aye.